All right. Okay, so I'm going to wait for a couple more people to get on, and then I will be starting. I will say ahead of time that there will be some foul language. So if you don't like cussing, you probably don't want to be here. So I'm just going to say that right now. And for some reason, Elton doesn't want to. He's camera shy today. I don't know why. He's up there and he just doesn't want to be on camera. He'll probably mosey on down here, but he didn't take a nap or anything, so I don't know what his deal is. You're tired? Well, you should have taken a nap. You don't want to come down here and be on camera with Mom? Well, at least he won't interrupt me, so. Okay, so if you guys could just do me a favor and don't like put in a lot of comments right away. If you can just like put hearts or whatever in, and then save the questions for afterwards, because I'm going to open it up to Q&A after. Because I have ADD and it's really hard for me to concentrate, so I get distracted really easy. And so just please don't put in a bunch of comments. So I'm going to start with the rescue to begin with, and then I'm going to go through the whole rescue, do's and don'ts of a rescue, and things that I did wrong, things that I did right, just to show that obviously I don't know everything about birds, and you know, things that I also did really, really right that you guys can do as well to save your birdies' lives. So the first thing is how I ended up with Elton is I wanted a Goffin cockatoo. So I put an ad on Craigslist in search of a Goffin cockatoo. Well, this lady reached out and said that she had an umbrella cockatoo. Well, being that I already had problems with Rocky, I was kind of really apprehensive about that because, you know, he was a little bit larger of a cockatoo than I had ever. I mean, I used to help handle, you know, make M2s a little bit more handleable, but that was a really long time ago, and I didn't want to really deal with the larger cockatoos. But she said, this guy's really, really sweet, and, you know, all of this, and, you know, take a look at him, and I want it to be an open adoption foster situation and see, you know, just how it works out. So she ends up showing up at my house, and it turns out we know each other. It's the weirdest thing. So he shows up at my house, and I noticed pretty much right off the bat that he's really sneezy. And she goes, yeah, that's kind of weird. He's not, he sneezes once in a while, but not all the time. But they usually clean out his nostrils, and he hasn't been in the vet in a while. I also noticed that his feathers were like really quite nasty, and his nails were super long. And she is disabled and she can't handle him, and that's why she was wanting to rehome him. He was originally her daughter's, and her daughter had some kids and had to move to an apartment, and he's obviously not an apartment bird, no cockatoo is. And so she ended up with Elton, and then she started becoming disabled. She's got shoulder problems. He's a very heavy bird. He's a very large umbrella cockatoo. So she's been trying to rehome him for 2 years. Her biggest concern was a good home for him. So I started talking to her, and she wanted to come meet me, and turns out that we know each other. So it was, love at first sight for everybody, because, obviously when we know each other, we're going to stay in touch, and that's exactly what she wanted. Oh, all of a sudden we have something to say. You guys should see him. He's crazy. Okay. I don't know. I may have to put him away because it's going to be really hard to do anything with him. So anyways, so she decides to leave him with me. I tell her, I don't have a whole lot of money for a vet, and I don't know what's going to happen, and we're going to have to try this out. And so the next day, because she's living with a roommate and stuff, and the next day she ends up getting this back pay from Social Security. So I think she's going to take him back. Well, it turns out she doesn't want to take him back. And I'm like, okay. So, but she will pay for the vet. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, great. So we were going to take him on Friday to get his nails done, and she couldn't take him to get his nails done for whatever reason. And I couldn't take it anymore. So the lady came to do his nails. Well, so that was a stressful event. And not only that, so here's the things that I did wrong right off the bat. I didn't take him to the vet right away. He only ate pellets for the last 2 years, and maybe some grapes here and there. Okay, so I changed his diet pretty dramatically. I kept him on the same pellets, but I gave him fruits and veggies. I gave him chop. He says he didn't like it, but he did. I gave him right away. I'm gonna show you guys some of the stuff that I do for my established birds, because it's really, really good stuff. I give them this bend back stuff. It's a probiotic. It is the greatest stuff in the world. This is actually better. This paste. Nishi loves this. She'll just eat this right out of the tube. She loves it. She'll eat the whole tube if I let her, but obviously she can't. But if you can't get them to take this goes in the water. And this is really cheap. This tube will last probably 2 months if you have a tiny bird, like Nishi. She's an Indian ringneck, and it's $2 on Amazon. And if you sign up for a subscription, it's even cheaper. And then this is like $4 on Amazon, and this will last, at least a month, if not more. And this will last me a month for, the 2 large cockatoos and Nishi. So it's very, very cheap. It's very, very good for them. It's a very high-powered probiotic. So I started him on this right away. Well, the problem was that he already had something brewing, and I didn't know that. I thought because of his nasalitis that he was sneezing because of that, and because of the change in environment, because her house was really humid, my house was really dry. So then I can show you guys a couple videos, if I can find my littler iPad. I have it somewhere. I thought I had everything like all lined up, but I guess maybe I don't. Where's Mom's other iPad? Oh, here it is. Okay, so hopefully I can show you these guys this, because I'm going to show you signs of a sick bird. So it's really important to watch this, because this is some of the first signs and symptoms that he showed. And I even showed her this video, and she said, I think he's just tired. And I even felt like There was something wrong, but this is the day he got his nails clipped. So I figured maybe just the stress from the nail clipping, he was tired. So, can you guys see that? So he's all puffed up. He looks really, really tired. And that was the day we were supposed to take him to the vet, and she couldn't make it. That was Friday.
Are you okay? Are you alright?
Oh geez, my hands are shaking. Okay, so Friday night, I went to sleep. Hold on. Friday night, I went to sleep, and about what time? About probably 5 minutes to 4, I woke up and I could hear him thrashing around in his cage. And this is what he started to look like. And I recorded this really quick so that the vet could see. But you'll see all around his cage, and the outside of his cage is a bunch of throw up. But see, he's thrashing around and all of that is all throw up. So I took that really quick. Video so I could show the vet what he was doing, which was a really good thing to do, because you want to be able to show the vet what he was doing. So if you can, and they're not super duper duper critical, you want to be able to show that. Also, you want to be able to keep the newspaper that's underneath them, if it's clean enough, keep the newspaper that's underneath them so that you have the stool, what their stool looks like for the last, however amount of time that they've had it. See, my newspaper underneath is all really clean, so I had that all to take to the vet. You should have clean news, especially if you think your bird is sick. Always, what's even better than that is to have paper towels underneath it, because then it's white, or like the butcher paper or newsprint or something, because then it's white and you know exactly what color it is. And then always, kind of monitor the time that everything happened. And I had all of those videos to show the vet of the progression of things that happened. So then, the other thing that happened, when you do a rescue, if you can stay in contact with the previous owner, because you don't know that bird's body language. So, first of all, get them to the vet as soon as you rescue them. That's the thing I didn't do. Second of all, if you can keep in contact with that bird's owner, because you don't know the bird's body language. So if some of the things that he was doing could have been normal, and it wouldn't have been any big deal, but it wasn't. It turned out it wasn't. Then, obviously the signs and symptoms, he was puffed up, his eyes were droopy, he just was a sick bird. But it was like a accumulation of events that happened that, just put him over the edge. The move, the change in diet, the adding the bend back, then the nail clipping. And it was just all too much stress. Whatever he had, the little tiny bit of immune thing that he had going, just put him over the edge, and just you know, whatever little thing that was brewing, even if there was just the teeny tiniest thing that he would have probably fought off on his own. I guess the place that this lady is living in is really pretty gross, and there's rats that come in, and it's just gross. So it's probably something that he would have fought off on his own, but it just created the perfect storm. And so that's all a bunch of mistakes that I made. You should give the bird at least 30 days to settle in and calm down, and then start, you know, gradually adding those things in. And I just, you know, I wanted what was best for him, and I wanted to just enrich his diet and make his feathers great. I started adding the feathered up, this stuff that I, you know, promote all the time. I added that to him. I just bombarded him with all this new stuff, trying to make him so pretty, and it was just all the wrong things. So I know you didn't like it. So then, so when he got sick, and when he was that sick, I have what I call a bird rescue bag. So this is the stuff that's in my bird rescue bag. Sometimes I don't even know what's in here because I just have all of it. It's so crazy. So I have a gram scale in here with a little tiny perch. I have a bigger perch. I also have this fun little sticky pad to attach different perches to it. You wash this off and it becomes sticky again. It's super handy. So you just stick this to it, and it needs to be washed off again, but it makes the perch really, really secure. Obviously, I just really windshield it. I have activated charcoal in case they, you know, get into something, or for some reason I think that they ate like a piece of old food or something that I don't really particularly like. Something they ate, I give them a little bit of this. I really have never used that, but I just have it just in case. I have this, it's a pestle and mortar in case I've got to grind something up. Don't really use that much either. I've got chamomile to calm them down. I have calcium carbonate in case they need extra calcium. I have milk thistle if they show signs of liver problems. I have dandelion in case they show, you know, just all kinds of random stuff. And then big things to have. Vet tape in various sizes. And this is the most important thing to have for sick birds. This is the Vitalize. You can get this on birdsupplies.com because this is like the birdie version of Pedialyte. It has glucose in it, it has magnesium, it has bicarb, it has potassium, sodium, and citrate, and they're all ions. The reason this is important because it has the bicarb in it, and the first thing that sick birds do is they become what we call acidic, and you want to get that acid down. That's what kills birds, is they become acidotic. So you want to get that acid out of their system, and this will help that. Also, you want to get their electrolyte. So that's the most important thing to have. Also, most important, as important is a way of producing heat. So this is what I use. It is a little heat lamp with a 50-watt with a 50, it's dimmable, and I use this 50-watt ceramic bulb. I got a 4-pack of these for like 15 bucks. And I only use them at night because I live in Arizona. And also, you know, it's got a cord, so there's really no way of, I have no way of protecting the cord. So, I just put it on their cage at night, and kind of jury rig it all around so that I can, protect the cord. And then I keep a little thing in there. You can get really fancy with them and put them on thermostats and everything else. If you can, thank God, my elderly mother lives with me and she has an O2 concentrator. They are about $380 on Amazon. If there is any possible way you can have one of those in your house, try and get one of those, because that probably saved me at least $1,500 at the vet, because and probably Elton's life, because here's why. At least 50% of the time when a bird spends the night at the vet, they die. And the reason why is because they are even more stressed out being away from their owner. They're already sick, so you have that separation anxiety all over again of being away from the owner. So over 50% of the time they die in the middle of the night, and I was not willing to take that risk. So thank God my mom had that O2 concentrator, so they filled him up with fluid, and I'm a paramedic and I have all kinds of fluid here. If he was to really crash in the middle of the night, I could have technically given him sub-Q fluid, even though I would not have wanted to do that, but I totally would have done that to save his life. Absolutely. So, that being said, here's where some of the cussing is going to come in at. And this is for the recorded video. Some of the comments that were made on some of the stuff that it has been posted on Rocky's page was just absolute and total bullshit. And so now, you know, my anger turns on, and if anybody has any comments after this, you know, if you can say that you've saved a bird from what I've brought him through, yes, the vet helped, you know, by giving him antibiotics and fluids, but I brought him home and brought him through the rest of the way. So when you can, you know, tell me that you've saved a bird from near death, then, you know, you can tell me, you know, what's what. But until then, basically, fuck off. So anyways, there's my cussing. I'll try and keep it at a minimum from there on out. So anyways, what else? Okay, so the other important things to have in around every cage, I have a pillowcase, I have a towel, and I always have a set of gloves. The reason why is because not everybody in the house is comfortable handling the birds, okay? So in the event of an emergency and I'm not here or whatever, you need to be able to get the birds out of the house, or if they're sick, you need to get them to the vet, or, you know, whatever. So people can put their gloves on and throw the bird in the pillowcase, you know, put it in a, tie it up, and then get them out of the house. So every single cage has a king-size pillowcase, so they're extra long, so you put the tie on and then get out of the house with the bird, okay? I also have a rescue cage. I don't know if everybody saw it in the other video, but it's or not a rescue cage, a travel cage. I'm in rescue mode right now, I guess. Oh, syringe. That's another important thing to have. I also have exact formula all the time. It expires, so always check your expiration dates on everything. If you haven't used something in a while, like about once every 6 months, what I usually do is I'll write it in big letters. You know, I'll write the date big on the top so that I know when it expires. But anyways, this is my travel cage. If I can get it past. I think it was like $40 on Amazon. It was really, really easy to. I didn't think he would fit in it, but he did really, really well. And popped him in there, and it was great. And a bird as small as Nishi can go in there, medium sized Rocky, and massive Tim can go in there. The only thing that can't go in there is a macaw with their, long tails and stuff. But any cockatoo can go in there. I think even a palm could probably fit in there. I'm not sure though. Hi everybody. I'm gonna save all the questions for afterwards. I'm gonna open it up to questions and afterwards, because I'm ADD and I will just get lost. So in a minute I'm gonna open it up. So also I have a go bag too. If your bird flies off, okay, you want to have a white sheet. You want to put their cage outside with their favorite foods in it. The reason for the white sheet is so that they can see their cage. Okay. And then I have this go bag. I have one of these in the refrigerator. I have the Vitalize in this go bag. It has all kinds of different treats in there. Okay. And then I have this I have this thing of water in the refrigerator. So I tell everybody, if your bird flies off, you grab this, it has the Vitalize in it, and then you have the pillowcase as well. So if your bird flies off, you can, grab them and put them in the pillowcase. So there's that too. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. That'll be another thing. Ways to save money at the vet. I already mentioned the oxygen concentrator. One of the things is, if you feel comfortable with it, it's entirely up to you. Please don't say, I told you to do it, and then you take your bird home and it dies, because I don't want that on my conscience. All I can tell you is 50% of the time when you leave your bird at the vet and they're sick, 50% of the time they die, because of the fact that they're away from their owner. Now, if it's something where their organs are failing and they need to have constant fluid and constant meds given, and you can't give them those meds, yes, they absolutely have to stay at the vet. In my situation, he was hydrated. He didn't need meds per se, but he needed the oxygen. He needed possible fluid hydration again, and I was not going to let him stay at the vet. I knew how to create an incubator type situation, and that's what I did. So he stayed home with me. Another way to save money at the vet is, a lot of the things that they give you is over-the-counter stuff. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that right now. They charged about $25 for famotidine, which is Pepsid. Okay, they gave me literally probably a quarter of a teaspoon of Pepsid. Okay. this. So I could have literally Pepsid at the grocery store is literally, for a generic brand, is literally about $3 at Walgreens, and they charge me $20 or $30. So always ask the vet. I mean, they want to charge you as much as possible. So you need to tell. Oh, here I'm gonna cuss again. You need to tell them, cut the bullshit. Yeah, I need to save some money here. So, is there any way that I can do any of this over the counter and come off of it and give me the dosage? And a lot of times they will. Somebody else was paying for it, so, and you know, it was technically still kind of her bird, so I wasn't gonna, you know, create a big scene in front of her. But if she hadn't been here, I would have been like, all right, doc, cut the bullshit and give me the dosage of the damn Pepsid, because this is so, you know. So anyways, that's ways to save money at the vet. You need your phone numbers to your vets. There's 2 different phone numbers to vets. There's an avian vet, that's your specialist vet. I suggest calling them ahead of time, getting acquainted with them, telling them your bird's name already, having them establish a file for them already, because in an emergency, you do not, I don't know if anybody has ever called 911, but the questions they ask you in an emergency, you want to just effing strangle somebody when they're asking you these questions. And that's how I felt. Okay. So call them, establish a relationship with them ahead of time so that you don't have to get aggravated. Okay. There is an emergency vet that will all of a sudden, I mean, they will. Will you come over here, my mom? You want to come here? Come here. Come down here. So, there's an avian vet. There's an avian vet. Oh my gosh, you're driving me crazy. There's an avian vet that will see emergencies too. You just gotta find them. So find your avian vet and have them have an avian vet that will what's the word? Recommend. That will recommend a emergency 24-hour vet. So call them ahead of time too and get acquainted with them as well. So at the vet, what will happen is they'll ask you a million questions. So if you already established your file, you don't have to have those million questions. So do that ahead of time. It'll save time. We've already talked about leave the bird, take home. We talked about the heat lamp. We talked about the concentrator. All right. Questions? I'm ready. Lay them on me. Oh, wait. There was one. What kind of gloves do you have? I have a pair of Kevlar gloves that I wear underneath leather gloves. Now, Rocky has bit through the leather gloves into the Kevlar gloves. He has not punctured my skin. However, it does feel like he's going to puncture the skin. Yes, I will. Where is my... I will put that link in there right now. Elty, come here. Elty. Elty. Hey, honey. What? Come here for a second. I'm going to have my husband come up so I don't have to get up because my knees are absolutely killing me. And then I'm gonna put the link in.
I'm not gonna be on camera, am I?
Just put him down on my shoulder or something. They want to see Elton. Yeah, they want to see you and you're being a butthead. The link to the travel cage.
Here. Come on, buddy. Here.
I think he probably doesn't like the lights, but
What's the matter? Hmm? What's the matter?
I'll turn down this one.
Here. Come here. It's okay.
Okay, there. That one's not so bright now, Bubs.
Here.
All right.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here with Dad. Come here with Dad. He's grabbing the cage with his beak and everything.
Where
He's
is
like, nope, I'm not coming.
I don't understand why he's having such a hard time.
Come here. Come on, good boy. It's a good boy. Come here. What's the matter? Are you bashful?
Here it is.
Are you bashful? Hmm?
Oh, I guess they have two sizes, so that's cool.
Are you bashful? Are you? Are you bashful? Are you being bashful?
Groups. Groups.
Come on, buddy. Come here.
Okay. Comment.
Come here.
Okay, I just posted the link for the cage. Where can you get an oxygen concentrator? Okay, I'll put that link in there too.
What are you doing, Bubba? Hmm?
I don't know if we're gonna get him on camera or not. He's not.
He is locked on that cage. You might be able to spin the cage or redirect the cameras.
Yeah, I'll
But
redirect the
he's-
camera in a minute.
He's got a death grip on the cage.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't want to come down, but
He's bashful.
yeah. I don't think he likes the lights, so hold on, I'll show you him in a minute. Rocky's down there cussing. Okay, there's the humidifier. Was there any questions I missed? Can you list in the comments or so? Yeah. I will do that. I'll after I sign off, I'll put the links to everything. And here I will. Here, I'll just take this off and I'll show you. Can you see them? Did you see them? We have a bed in the background because we're getting rid of it. We're waiting for the big trash day. Can you come here by mommy? Come here by mom. Hi. Can you come here by mom? Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Hi. Say hi. Well, you don't want to come by mom. Yeah, he looks really, really good, so. You want to come here by mommy? I think he's going to come over now. Finally. Hi, he's finally coming over. Hi. Finally. Finally, you're coming over. Okay, I'm gonna put the hi. I'm gonna put the camera back up. All right. Okay. What happened? You're shy. Is what happened? I know. Where were you, crazy kid? Everybody wants to see you. Well, now we can move this a little bit because this is just like, yeah, that's okay, right? Okay, so is there any more questions? Anything about the vet? Anything about symptoms, signs? Anything about lost birds? Anything? Anything about bonding?
Did you tell him about the pillowcase, honey?
Yeah, I told him about that.
And what it's for?
Yeah, do you guys want to see what a hormonal bird looks like? I can show you what a hormonal bird looks like. I have a video of him being really hormonal. That's the other part of this too, is another reason he got sick is because he went into like a really big hormonal thing as well. So I think I'll show you that too, because that's another thing that was throwing me with his illness, is because I could see that he was hormonal also. Can we? Yeah, I can do a live weekly. You want to do every Tuesday? That'll work. Every Tuesday can work. Really? You want to do a live weekly? You guys have to pick the topic though. Okay, can you not put your butt on my face? What are you doing? Just step down, weirdo. Okay. Alright, let me show you him being hormonal. So that you guys can see what that looks like, because let me start. Oh, he's gonna go away. I should have moved his cage more. Whoops. Okay, this is another part of it, because I thought maybe he was just being hormonal, because that also looks kind of like he's sick too. I knew that was hormonal, but so doesn't that, mimic being a little bit sick as well? So I thought that when he was sick, he's all puffy and everything. So when he was being sick, I thought that was part of him being hormonal. So, but do you see how he's rubbing his tail? That's what a hormonal bird looks like. So if your bird is doing that, you let me see if I have another video of that too. Oh, I do. No, I have a picture of it. So see how his tail is down and his wings are draped over? That's a hormonal posture as well. So Maria, it's gonna be it's gonna be, as soon as we're done, you can watch the whole thing over again. It'll be uploaded. You can watch the whole thing. It'll also be available on Rocky's page. He now has a page, so it'll be available on his page, and it'll be available on YouTube as well. Unfortunately, I just noticed that the videos that I'm showing the camera are not being shown on the recorded video, so oh well. But whatever. But the good news is Elton is really, really good. His feathers are really, really great. That's another product I love that I mentioned last night is the cockatoo shampoo. I never thought I would love that stuff, but man, do I, because he looked a little rough when I got him. And he looks gorgeous now. You want to come down here by Mom? Come on, come down here by Mom. Everybody wants to see you. You don't want to? He just said I don't want to. They said that he didn't talk at all. He only said, hi, sweetheart, and cracker, and hi and hello. He says so much stuff. They just didn't understand cockatoo language because he has full conversations with me. But I speak really good cockatoo, so I don't know. I mean, my mom and my husband don't understand what he says either, but I understand it perfectly. So, anyways, is there any more questions? Because otherwise I'm going to sign off. Any more? And yes, I will look into doing a live weekly. As long as I have a topic. You guys got to throw a topic out there for me. Rocky Rock is doing really good. He's more Randy's bird. He still wants to chew my face off. So, I try every day. I mean, I'm the one that feeds him, and I'm the one that loves him, and I'm the one that cleans his cage and everything else, but he wants to chew my face off. Nishi loves me, though. I mean, she still flies to me as soon as I get her out of the cage, and she loves me, but... And this guy, I had to have Randy come and get him off of me last night, because if he could have crawled under my skin, he would have. And he was laying it on thick last night. He was like, hi, babe. Hi, sweetheart. It was crazy. You were tipped. You want me to be your girlfriend, and I cannot be your girlfriend because I'm your mom, not your girlfriend. Okay? You need to get straight. I'm your mom. I cannot be your girlfriend. Well, I can't be your girlfriend. I'm your mom. So, yeah, he's super hormonal. All right, you guys. I love you. This video will be available as soon as I click finish. I'm going to upload it. And I'll put the links to all the products that I talked about and love. Okay?